I like the sensation as it goes down my throat, and I want to experience that for one last time.
Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're counting down our picks for the most dangerous and terrifying moments to have happened during a Louis Theroux production that left our hairs standing on end.
That one hurt!
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 30, The Singing Audition. Out of Theroux's long, stellar, and dangerous career, this moment has been mentioned by him as one of his scariest.
We don't do open auditions like this in London. I think it's absolute torture, and my heart is with you when you do this, okay?
In Louis Theroux's Weird Weekends episode Off Broadway, our champion documentarian meets prospective musical theatre actors. To get his head around the experience, Theroux puts himself through an audition for a singing role on a Norwegian cruise ship. After getting lessons, he stands in front of judges and belts out the Beatles with a little help from my friends.
Do you need anybody? I need somebody to love.
On top of the terror of public singing, one of the judges was Craig Revel Horwood of future Strictly Come Dancing fame.
From my friends with little help from my friends.
Great, thanks Louis.
None of the judges looked impressed. In fact, one seemingly smirked as he thanked Theroux, giving us second-hand embarrassment.
Louis Castle. He wasn't a good enough vocal talent.
Number 29, The Hamiltons' Arrest.
Oh God, he's coming back up, so he'll get bananas if he hears me talking. He'll probably get bananas if he sees us having it. Darling, we're having a little... Oh dear, we've been caught out. You see, Neil knows my penchant for attractive.
During the When Louis Met series, Theroux met several people who left us reeling. More on those later. But meeting Neil and Christine Hamilton was a strange and eerie experience. During the filming, the political couple met Theroux at a restaurant to explain something was going to happen.
But this afternoon we're going off to the Barkingside police station.
Right.
Where Christine and I are going to be arrested.
However, rather than state what it was, they alluded to it, making it seem really ominous. This mysterious event turned out to be assault accusations against the couple, which were later found to be false. Theroux happened to be there by chance during this political scandal, yet the couple's behavior, such as Christine flirting with Theroux and Neil attempting to showcase a banner to a website during his statement, didn't help their side.
Why shouldn't I sit here holding your knee? I mean, it doesn't mean a damn thing. It means nothing to you, it means nothing to me, and so what? It's just...
It's a bit of fun, isn't it?
Number 28, Louis Saves Joe.
What does it feel like?
Like I'm dying as a person.
2016's Louis Theroux Drinking to Oblivion showed the heartbreak of drinking dependency in the UK. One of those that left a deep impression on the audience was Joe Walker.
I like the sensation as it goes down my throat, and I want to experience that for one last time.
The special episode bluntly showed the issues people can have with relapsing. In Walker's case, Theroux had to help him to A&E in a disheveled state. The seriousness of this situation caused him to hug Theroux and sob. Yet, later on, Walker left to get vodka.
You okay?
Yeah.
What have you been drinking?
Everyone expected the worst. Thankfully, by the end of the episode, he was sober and doing better. For at least 12 months, Walker kept this up.
You turned it around.
Well, for now, yeah.
However, in 2020, he relapsed and needed funding for rehab. With Theroux's aid, Walker got the money he needed to get help. Number 27, everything Rose McGowan went through.
So then he went to Venice, California, and met a man named David Berg, who is the founder of the Children of God.
During the UK COVID-19 lockdown, Theroux set up the podcast Grounded with Louis Theroux, where he interviewed a host of celebrities. Yet, Rose McGowan's episode left a heartbreaking and terrifying feeling for those that listened.
Sit on your bed and learn how to snap your fingers all day so God will teach you to drive when you're 16. I'm like,
That was something you had to do?
for like 8 hours, I had to snap my stupid fingers.
As well as discussing her upbringing in the Children of God cult, she also spoke about the assault from Harvey Weinstein. McGowan talked about the aftermath of escaping the Hollywood cult, who admired the disgraced film producer, leaving her ostracized from a community she once loved. The horror from the experience left a lasting impression on McGowan, so much so that she got a puppy to help with her PTSD. Yet, through all that devastation, her drive for justice is admirable. Number 26, The Picket Line. When people look at Theroux's career, 2007's The Most Hated Family in America is seen as one of his best, exploring the notorious Westboro Baptist Church and its hate speeches. Theroux gave an interesting look at the Phelps family behind it. He even joined the group as they set up a picket line whilst holding bigoted placards.
Are you calling our service to our God weird behavior? Is that what you just did?
Yeah.
Yet at one point, it got very serious. Their car with a number plate hidden was caught on camera speeding away. Quickly, we see why. A person in the vehicle had lobbed a drink and struck one of the children, covering him in a substance. For a moment, the incident stripped away the hate from the church, as they showed concern for the upset boy. Number 25, Meeting Max Clifford.
You want information on me, don't you? No.
With the power of hindsight, the episode When Louis Met Max Clifford was filled with dodgy moments. At the time, Clifford was one of the most powerful celebrity publicists around. When Theroux asked him about Clifford possibly having files on people he could threaten them with, he denied it. However, moments later, he admitted he would find something if he and Theroux were feuding.
But if you didn't like the way this documentary turned out, have you felt we treated you unfairly?
Oh, if you took liberties,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
if you took
That's what I mean,
liberties,
yeah.
then that's a
what?
different matter.
Later on, the publicist took a call when driving Theroux. During it, he told the person that Theroux slept with Christine Hamilton.
Oh, you're joking.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
However, the documentarian pointed out that this was false. If Theroux wasn't there, would this lie have tarnished his career? In 2014, Clifford was sentenced to 8 years in jail for indecent assaults. He passed away there in 2017. Number 24, Exotic Threats.
It would be sad if you had to shoot a bunch of tigers.
It would be horrible. Very horrible. But
Could you do that?
I would have to.
In 2011's Louis Theroux, America's Most Dangerous Pets, the part-time rapper met with Joe Exotic. His strange handling of the animals was eyebrow-raising.
If he was to get you, he would not kill you and eat you right away. He's going to torment you.
Yet, when looking at the adult felines, Exotic coldly stated that if Theroux got in the cage, he would shoot him to put him out of the misery of being eaten.
You would shoot me
Yeah.
in the head?
Yeah.
It was blunt and disturbing. After being sent down in 2019 for conspiracy to commit murder, Exotic was resentenced in 2022 to 21 years. In 2020, with the success of the Tiger King docuseries, Louis Theroux Shooting Joe Exotic was released. He looked at cut footage from 2011 and saw Exotic allude to speaking to a hitman and that either he or Carol Baskin was going down.
You know, I've kicked that idea around. If I ever went broke, I think I would euthanize everything.
Number 23, the Boer leader.
There's no great love among Boer people for the English.
No, there's no great love, no.
In his first BBC series, Louis Theroux's Wild Weekends, the documentarian went to South Africa for the episode Whites. This leads to Theroux speaking to white supremacists in the country.
Can a non-white person be a Boer?
Eventually finding his way to meeting Eugene Terblanche. Seen as the Boer leader, Terre Blanche was a white nationalist who wanted to put his race in power again in the country. After simply asking him if a non-white person who has all the apparent criteria Terre Blanche sees in a Boer person can be a Boer, he goes off on an aggressive rant.
You don't want me to rule those two Boer republics as the sole property of the Boer people.
Eventually, Terre Blanche concedes that only white people can be Boer, but his rage doesn't dissipate, especially when Theroux points out his tone.
Can we just lower the tone slightly?
No, you're having the interview with me. I'll choose.
For a moment, we genuinely believed Terre Blanche could attack Theroux. Number 22, The Reluctant Bride.
Then the interpreter tells the lady the things that I am off. Well, listen.
For Louis Theroux's Weird Weekends, the title star explored the murky world of buying companionship in the episode Looking for Love. During it, we see Lake Palmer, who used a business to find a Thai bride. From the beginning, he gives off several red flags as he's rude and belittles the staff helping him. When Theroux catches up with Palmer later, we discover he has been matched with a woman. He gives off plenty of alarm bells, especially when he refers to her as a bargain.
Very quick.
Very quick.
Too quick.
When you see a bargain, do you let it get away?
With a plastered-on smile, she does her best to avoid serious commitment statements. After one of Palmer's declarations of unending love, she carefully responded with, "I understand."
I love you.
I understand, yes.
Reportedly, after failing to get a UK visa, the woman left Palmer. Number 21, Talking to Violent Criminals. Theroux returned to South Africa for 2008's Law and Disorder in Johannesburg to explore the criminal and justice system. As a result, the episode is filled with scary moments, but one of the most was when he talked to two criminals on the street. Fresh from stealing 4 cars the night before, the duo detailed how they get money from people by graphically threatening their children or partners with weapons or an oven.
If I've got a child there, you saying you would hurt the child to find out the information?
Took your child, I put it in oven.
It's not often you see Theroux lost for words, but this was an understandable exception. Afterwards, he asked his guide whether they were joking. He explained that they were cruel and that one of the criminals, Maleven, had a wanted photo in the newspaper.
Maleven's face was there. They are wanted. His face was on the paper, but they don't care.
Number 20, Meeting the Pimp. Louis has come across quite a few despicable characters over the years, and Pimp Shedrick Smith definitely ranks among them.
I was made to understand that you had been, and perhaps still are, a pimp.
Yes, sir.
Would that be correct?
Well, half of it is I was a pimp.
Louis knows all the facts. This man was locked up for pimping out a 15-year-old girl. Many allege that he was aware of her age and also forced her into the occupation.
In her account, she says there were times she was with you when she wanted to stop working, and you would pressure her and say, "You haven't made enough money yet."
Well, if you read the documents correctly, this chick was only with me for 7 days.
What's also terrifying is that this man seems utterly remorseless. He even goes as far as to justify his actions, listing out his twisted views on women.
And if they leave, you give them some money back or not?
Yeah, I give them some money back.
How much?
Nothing.
It's clear Louis is sickened by this man, but he continues to press him. Number 19, Angry Wrestlers.
These guys go through it every damn day, and you got the nerve to ask me that bullshit.
Some pro wrestlers are so devoted to the craft, they will go to extreme lengths for the sake of kayfabe. Earlier in this episode, Louis asked Sarge a question which implied pro wrestling was fake. He took this personally. When Louis later attended one of his pro wrestling tryouts in the WCW power plant, Sarge put him through hell.
You're gonna lead them out. No, you're not gonna give up. You're not going to give up.
I can't do it.
Giving up is not an option around here.
Louis is clearly being targeted here for his earlier comments and is bullied by all the coaches. He's pushed to such extremes that he eventually ends up throwing up. It makes you wonder what they would have done to him had the cameras not been running.
That ain't nothing.
Number 18, behind bars with violent inmates.
See where you at? What do you mean?
See where you at? You might come here, but you might be snitching on somebody's case and you might tell something. You want to know who you will, that's all.
Louis visited Miami's notorious Main Jail, where alleged criminals are incarcerated while awaiting trial. Mixing among some of the most violent inmates, Louis delves into the unforgiving culture of the jail, where the majority of time is spent in communal cells, the weak are preyed upon, and the fighting is constant. It's made clear to Louis that he wouldn't last 5 seconds, but he shows no fear and keeps asking those difficult questions.
Can we see your face?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't want y'all to see my face.
In one particularly spine-chilling moment, Louis meets a prisoner held in solitary confinement for stabbing another inmate. Previous subjects have been interviewed in crowded cells, but we know that this guy is dangerous as the bars stay firmly in place.
Why are you in red?
Stabbing charge.
A stabbing charge against who?
Another inmate.
Louis remains unfazed, but the sense of threat feels real. Number 17, captive lions. Louis' dark African hunting holiday raised a lot of questions about the ethics behind big game hunting. But one thing that was not debatable, however, is what these creatures would do if they got a hold of Louis.
Why is he looking at us like that?
He thinks you are a plate of food.
When brought into a lion pen, Louis quizzes the breeder on how he feels about the creatures and whether it's right to slay them or not.
Look at his eyes. You walk past. You can walk past and feel if you feel any love there.
Walk past where?
Next to the walk area.
I'm not sure if I want to.
No.
Two things become apparent. The lions have their eyes on Louis, and that fence is not as sturdy as it looks. Louis is even reluctant to get close to them.
Yeah. It's just a plain commodity.
Number 16, the pastor. You can pick any moment from Louis' coverage of the Westboro Baptist Church, and it will send a chill down your spine.
It's almost 18 months now, and the siege has got people eating their babies and their small children and each other.
This moment in particular stands out to us, as Louis is finally able to meet Pastor Phelps after one of his sermons. Louis' questions are innocent enough, but it's clear that the pastor is on the defensive the entire time and has a disdain for the crew.
If you had just a little knowledge of the Bible, you would know that what you just said is stupidity in spades. I don't know how to deal with a question like that.
It's clear that he believes the words he is preaching and truly believes that everyone outside the church is going to hell. An extremely eerie interaction with a terrifying individual.
But you don't know anything about me, Pastor Phelps.
Yeah, I do. I know all there is to know about you. You're just an evil... I don't want to go there. Okay, now this is about 15 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much for your
and
time.
It's nice to see you, and good luck to you.
Number 15, Weaponized Dogs. The LA Stories documentaries are some of Louis' lesser-known work, but they prove that the journalist doesn't need a big premise to make us nervous. In City of Dogs, he meets some men from Compton who train pets as weapons against crime.
You scared?
Yeah, I think I am a bit scared.
No, don't be this. You're not going to feel it.
After watching one of these weaponized canines at work, Louis agrees to let it have a go at him too. Is he scared? Yes, and he looks it. But never want to shrink from a challenge, he stays calm, stands his ground, and doesn't back out.
Good job, man. We're gonna have to check your pants now, right?
Number 14, shots fired. In a special all about crime in one of South Africa's biggest cities, 2008's Law and Disorder in Johannesburg still shocked us Brits regarding firearms. Theroux was taken to a building to watch private security groups aid the police in evicting people from a hijacked building. Yet, as soon as he arrived, shots rang out as they stormed the property.
Sheriff, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, sure.
One of the officers just fired some shots.
Bizarrely, the police seemed nonchalant about the experience, even when one person was repeatedly firing at others who were watching.
Jesus Christ, he's just firing at those guys.
Thankfully, the weapons were using rubber bullets, but still, it can do serious damage, and the users didn't seem to care who they were aiming for. This incident had so much tension that you could cut it with a knife.
People do get hurt. We
Lost
do lose
people?
yeah.
How often?
2 or 3 a month.
Lose people?
Lose people, yeah.
What, get killed?
In fights, yes.
Number 13, Louis enters the hijacked building. But that wasn't the only nail-biting moment from Louis' trip to Johannesburg. Here, Louis was attended by local private security, but when they were reluctant to enter a hijacked building at night, Louis decided to do it anyway.
What would happen if we can't go in? I do want to go in.
Well, I don't want to go inside.
There's someone who lives there.
Reckless? Maybe. And the hijackers weren't particularly frightening, as it turned out. But when he calmly walks up those dark stairs, you can't help but be impressed.
What exactly are we afraid of?
There's guys with guns here. They do have firearms here.
Number 12, chimpanzee.
Well, because if he bites my nose off, then you could be in trouble.
It's no little known fact that a teen chimpanzee is an incredibly dangerous creature to be around. So what compels some people to keep them in their homes? Louis thought to explore this in his documentary America's Most Dangerous Pets when he visited a chimp owner. As soon as the creature is let loose, it's clear something is wrong.
Here he comes.
Hey! Oh, shit!
It charges directly at Louis and his crew and smashes a window in an attempt to get to them. Louis is so shaken by the experience that he and the team decide to leave.
And I think we may have what we need, so...
You're afraid of them, aren't you?
Number 11, the riots.
So you think we should leave now? Yeah.
In 2010, Louis investigated the highly illegal, highly organized back streets of Lagos, Nigeria. Here he would meet the feared union leader MC, who displayed his rather violent methods of controlling his people. In this instance, MC was seen handing out money to a large group of youths.
He's giving the money. Look out, he's giving him a big chunk of money.
His meaning behind this is not exactly clear to Louis, but his guide suggests it's a way to figure out who is in control. When the cash is handed out, the guide becomes very concerned for their safety. Louis is told they must leave immediately as a riot is seconds away from breaking out.
Are we not safe now?
We are not safe, so it's better we leave here.
Okay.
Number 10, Huntington's epidemic.
How old were you when you first got involved in a serious way with
Serious way?
opiates?
When I was about 17.
At number 10 on our list is one of Louis' most recent documentaries, and most saddening. In episode 1 of his Dark State series, he explores the community of Huntington, West Virginia, a city gripped by one of the worst substance abuse epidemics in American history.
Fill this hole inside you with anything other than God.
That hole, man, that's what I hear a lot of people, that hole is there.
Buddy.
You know, there is a big hole. Right now, I'm in withdrawal and I feel that big hole in my chest, you know.
Whilst exploring the community and meeting those addicted, Theroux quickly develops an understanding on how people's lives can become so dependent on substances, and how their usage of it can have devastating consequences for them and their loved ones. It's a difficult watch, and you can see the sadness in Theroux's eyes as he discovers just how substantial Huntington's problem really is.
How you doing?
Huh?
How you doing?
I'm all right. Give me just a second.
Should we wait?
Just for a minute.
Okay, cool.
Right, cool.
Thank you.
Number 9, fearing for his own life.
And I want to experience that for one last time. That's why I'm leaving.
The next moment happened off camera, but it had to be included as it's a moment Theroux himself describes as one where he genuinely felt nervous and in fear for his life. While filming his Drinking to Oblivion documentary in 2016, Theroux and his team had to deal with 2 individuals who wouldn't take kindly to having their experiences with alcohol documented on camera. Theroux states that one of the individuals put him in a headlock that was so tight he actually thought his neck might snap, and that would be it. It's a moment that would have shocked viewers and made them feel all sorts of apprehension had the sequence been included in the final film.
Becoming inseparable from your sense of who you are.
until a different, better life no longer looks possible.
Number 8. Prison politics.
Tell me what you're doing over here. You're just relaxing?
We're the white guys.
Are you the white gang?
In a one-off episode, Louis Theroux travels to one of America's most notorious prisons, San Quentin, to meet inmates of the jail made up of serial killers, gang leaders, and some of America's most violent criminals. Theroux stayed for 2 weeks at the prison, and he learned a lot about the politics of prison life.
You did to get beat up.
Who would beat you up?
Me?
One aspect of this is racial segregation, a political position so strictly enforced by the inmates that 2 white prisoners warned Theroux not to share food with any of the black prisoners, or risk being beaten up for doing so.
Probably just mob you, like 2 or 3 dudes would just attack you.
3 dudes would come up and attack me? And do what, pummel me? Punch me? How bad?
Until the cops stop them.
Louis seems genuinely taken aback by such strong feelings, and the mealtime becomes even more chilling when the prisoners seem content with having such systems in place. Number 7. An unnerving rally. Louis had encountered multiple experiences of racism in the past, but maybe none as profound as this next entry. Whilst filming a documentary covering the issues of racism in American society, Louis interviews and spends time with a number of neo-Nazis and white supremacists to try and understand why they hold the beliefs they do. One way in which he tries to achieve this is by attending a rally, where a large number of neo-Nazis gather.
Any of you guys want to talk about Tom for the documentary at all?
I gotta go back here.
I don't talk to you yet.
Whilst at the rally, Louis listens to deeply disturbing racist speeches that fully vocalize the extreme ideologies this corner of American society subscribe to.
This is revolution! Revolution!
It makes for very shocking and uncomfortable viewing.
I've always said I wouldn't leave California because this is going to be the start of the Second American Civil War.
Number 6. Racial tensions with police. During his visit to the city of Philadelphia, Louis Theroux wanted to explore how the city's police force coexisted with the city's communities, and how serving police officers were asked to deal with crime on a regular basis.
Turn over!
In one situation, the police make arrests in an African-American community. Many residents feel the police are too forceful and aggressive in their approach, and tensions threaten to boil over into something more violent. And Theroux is there to witness the underlying racial tensions between these 2 aspects of Philadelphian society firsthand. It's a haunting reminder of how fractious relationships between law enforcement and the wider community remain a contemporary problem in American society.
You okay? Sarge? You okay? You okay?
Number 5. Too close for comfort.
Whoa! That hit us. That was a rock.
That was...
Louis Theroux has traveled to parts of the world where political, social, and cultural differences are clear to see. This documentary follows the continuing and expanding settlements of Israeli nationalists into the West Bank, an area with a largely Arabic population that Israel has controlled since the late 1960s, and an area which is recognized by international law as belonging to the state of Palestine. Because both Israel and Palestine claim that Jerusalem is their capital city, the continuing animosities between the 2 sides are clear to see when Louis witnesses tear gas being used in an East Jerusalem riot. It's clear from Theroux's facial expressions and manner that he is apprehensive as this deeply complex political problem escalates around him.
I wondered if Boaz was still in his house.
Number 4. A tense standoff. In a feature-length documentary film, Louis Theroux decided to focus on the subject of Scientology and the mysterious nature of the religious organization.
Louis.
Louis?
Louis.
Okay, the road's closed, you're trespassing, and you need to leave.
Apparently, it's a public road.
No, it isn't.
The Church of Scientology had refused to cooperate with the making of Theroux's documentary as he attempted to discover what the church really stands for and its place within American culture and society. Towards the end of the film, Theroux enters a road-closed area that is both eerie and unnerving.
Are you so stupid you cannot see the sign that says road closed?
But look,
is there anything about that that you don't understand? Closed?
Well, look, I've got a permit.
Do you know what?
A woman and her cameraman inform Louis that he's trespassing and needs to leave. An unsettling standoff occurs when Theroux states he has a permit.
Tell him to stop.
What, you tell him to stop?
Tell him to stop.
You tell him to stop and I'll tell him to stop. How about that?
Stop.
The woman becomes more aggressive and volatile in her language, begging the question as to why she refuses to talk to Louis.
Can we talk to you? Are you in the Sea Org as well?
Number 3. Coalinga.
Hospital policy is to refer to them as individuals.
In this next entry, Louis travels to Coalinga Mental Hospital, a medical facility in California that houses some of the state's most serious and serial sex offenders.
Did he say 50 victims?
Yeah, he estimates about 50 victims.
Some patients and psychologists are very open about the past crimes of those at Coalinga. The documentary is uncomfortable viewing, and you can see Theroux grappling in a way as he tries to understand the patients and who they are, while at the same time remaining consciously aware of the crimes each of them has committed.
They all combine and shine to me.
Number 2, Louis' interview with Jimmy Saville.
How did you get the address?
No, I'll get anything, me.
How did you get it though?
I can get anything.
In the early 2000s, Louis Theroux decided to move away from his Weird Weekends documentaries in the US and focus on interviewing British celebrities at home. The first episode of his When Louis Met series was interviewing Jimmy Saville, a former television presenter and convicted offender. At the time the documentary was filmed, Saville hadn't been charged or convicted with any criminal charges, but rumors of his crimes was something Theroux was aware of.
Why do you say in interviews that you hate children when I've seen you with kids and you clearly enjoy their company and you have a good rapport with them?
In the documentary, Theroux asks Saville about these allegations, which is met with an evasive response.
Tabloids don't, pursue this whole isn't he a paedophile line, basically.
Yes.
In 2021, with countless victims having come forward and given evidence to Saville's history of abuse, looking back on this particular documentary leaves a chilling and terrifying feeling knowing who Saville really was. Number 1. Things turn hostile. During his documentary covering white supremacists and neo-Nazis in California, Louis meets a family that is helping to organize a white supremacist rally. The family openly shows their beliefs with Confederate flags and swastikas pinned and on open display in their garage.
Louis is a Jew. We already know it. I already know it. You're a Jew. That's why you got so much animosity.
Okay,
That's why you have so much.
you don't look like a Jew.
Wait.
When Louis asks the question about if he was Jewish, would that be a problem, the atmosphere changes, and the neo-Nazis become increasingly hostile and ask numerous times whether he's Jewish or not. Theroux isn't Jewish and remains defiant that he won't answer the question, as it shouldn't matter whether he's Jewish or not.
We want to know if you're a Jew, and if we let you into our house to film our everyday ritual, are you a Jew?
I don't feel as though, maybe you disagree, I don't feel as though I've kind of compelled you to say anything.
No.
Things get so intense that the family demands the documentary cease filming for a moment, a point where you genuinely fear for Louis' safety.
Can we turn the camera off for a second? Pull the plug.
Pull the plug for a second.
What for?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojoUK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.